So this right here is the Brown Bess musket. This is the weapon used by the British during the War of 1812 because you can load and fire this weapon every 15 seconds. So the British standard, the troops stay in here, they're training 6 to 8 hours every day to make sure they hit the British standard of 4 shots in 1 minute, making them some of the quickest troops in the world at the time. Now 15 seconds, I know it's quite a long time, right? Especially compared to today's weapons. It's really not something you want in today's battlefield, that's for sure. But the reason for that, because there are so many steps needed to load this weapon. First step, open up the frizzen. It's a hardened steel to expose the pan underneath. Once you've done that, you're going to reach back into your cartouche, the black leather box all the soldiers carry with them. Take out a cartridge. So same thing as they would have had it historically, about 100 to 120 grains of black powder inside. The only difference is that 200 years ago, they would have had a musket ball tied in at the bottom of this round. So it'd be a 68 to 71 caliber musket ball. So you reach back, reach out to your mouth, rip open the paper to get to that black powder inside, pour a few grains into your pan for your prime, close that, bring the musket in front of you, and the rest goes down the barrel, that musket ball sitting on top. You then take your ramrod out, force everything down the barrel, take your ramrod out, put it back in the furniture, and you can fire your 1 shot. To fire it off, pull back the hammer, has a hard sharp rod called a flint attached to it, so you pull the trigger, the flint flies forward, hits that hardened steel, that's hopefully going to create sparks. Those sparks land in your pan, ignite the black powder you put in there as your prime. That causes a small explosion to go through a vent hole, a small hole in the side of the barrel. That's then going to hopefully ignite the black powder inside the barrel, and that will send your musket ball off. Now I said hopefully because although this is the best technology they have 200 years ago, this weapon very unreliable. Right, it has a 30% misfire rate. I don't know, on a day like today, I'm sure that misfire rate is going to go right up because this weapon is exposed to the elements. Right, it's not covered up or anything like that. So if it's raining outside, your black powder gets wet, turns to a black goo, you're not going to fire off this weapon. On a day like today where it's so windy, those sparks can actually get blown away from the pan, never come into contact with your black powder, you're not going to fire. Another problem is that it is a black powder fouling. Black powder is a very dirty, very filthy substance. Every time you fire, black powder fouling builds up inside the barrel. What they did was actually make the musket ball smaller than the barrel. So it's again 68 to 71 caliber musket ball, 75 caliber barrel. Size difference, I like to load at 15 seconds or a much longer period of time, but now let's sacrifice accuracy. Because you imagine you fired off this musket, that ball's going to bounce and rattle all the way out, so it's leaving balls at weird and wonky angles. So this weapon only accurate to about 75 yards. That's pretty much it. So with such an unreliable, such an inaccurate weapon, how do you make this weapon effective on that battlefield? Get a lot of men, line them up in long, straight lines, have them all point and fire at the same time, same direction, and every 15 seconds, so it didn't matter if my musket misfired, another musket went off in some weird direction, you're sending a wall of lead downfield again every 15 seconds. Someone's gonna hit something. So I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna try to fire off 2 shots at you guys. The first, I'll go slowly through a reload process once again to see how I'm properly loading my musket. Then I go into my firing range exercise where I'm gonna try to load my musket as quickly as I can